This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
The views expressed by guests on this program do not necessarily represent the views of the host or owners of the Doggy Diva show and do not necessarily constitute endorsement of products. Medical information discussed by guests on this program are those of the guests and is only for informational purposes and should not replace medical advice by your local veterinarian professional.
Hi, this is Susan Marie from the Doggy Diva show. This week, how to avoid health hazards for your pets with Christmas decorations, an easier way to feed your pets, and some holiday gift ideas from Miss Olive. That's what's on our show this week. Let's get to it.
Hey, did you hear that? What is that? It's the bark heard round the world. The Doggy Diva show. Here's Susan Marie.
Hi, welcome to the Doggy Diva show, the show for animal lovers. I'm your host, Susan Marie, and as always, I'm joined by my canine co-hosts, the Doggy Divas themselves, Francesca, Coco, and our newest little diva, Miss Olive. Miss Olive is the cute little Italian Greyhound rescue in the picture with the microphone. Thank you for joining us today as we bring the experts in the pet and animal world right to you. So go grab a cup of coffee and your pet's favorite treat, and we'll be back in just a moment.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit DesignerPetSweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. DesignerPetSweaters.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Hey Monica, we're coming up to Christmas Eve. There's going to be so much entertaining, so much going on with people, with friends, with families, and pets. Now, there's something that's on the horizon that's been all around Facebook, Instagram. There's a lot of things going on about chip bag suffocation. Can you shed some light on that, especially because there may be chip bags laying around over the next few days?
Absolutely. So yes, there's been a lot of media surrounding pet suffocation when it comes to snack and chip bags. So just a couple of tips on how to avoid that. One, it can happen very quickly. I mean, you're out of a room, 2-3 minutes go by, and that is fast enough for a pet to stick their head in the bag, try to get something and not be able to get it out. And unfortunately, there's been a couple instances where the pets, have passed away, unfortunately, over just a couple minute time span, that the owner was out of the room. So just a couple tips in regards to that. Your chip bags, snack bags, cereal bags, anything that they could get their head in and possibly not get it out, is be very cautious. We always recommend, when you buy those things at the store, transfer them to Rubbermaid containers for storage. Get that bag out of there. Another thing you can do is, when you throw the bag away, while it's sitting in the trash, just so the pet can't get into it, I always tell everybody to do 2 cuts down the bag. So cut the bottom, cut the side. That way, if they do get into the trash, it's a sheet and it's not a bag, something that they can't get their head around. As we know, our pets have very, very, very good sense of smell. So even if, the bag is completely empty and even if it is cut, they'll still have a little bit of, oily residue, from chips or from cereal and things like that. And it's going to entice them to go over and try to lick it and, try to eat it. So definitely, do the best you can to keep it away. Try to, cut off access maybe to the kitchen. Have a garbage can inside the pantry with a door that closes. Things like that. So that way, it's kind of an extra step for the pet to actually get to it. Always, recommend a lid for the trash cans, one that is, pet safe that they can't, open up on their own. And some of them can be very, very cunning when it comes to things that they get into. They become very smart and very able to break through a lot of different mechanisms. So always keep that in mind. Another thing is, when you're eating snacks like that, transfer them over to a bowl. Don't put out, chips in a bag for people to take, stick them over to a bowl, even when you're eating it at home. Something as easy, even though a lot of them aren't plastic, but popcorn bags, things of that nature, something that they can get their head into and could possibly not be able to get off. So be cautious with anything like that. And of course, if there was any kind of issue, the first thing you would want to do is, try to be up to speed on pet CPR, administer CPR if the pet's not breathing, and get the pet to your vet as soon as possible. But hopefully if you can, cut the bags up before you throw them away, go to plastic storage containers and bowls, then that problem can be eliminated and it won't be an issue.
Well, and it seems like the dogs, when they get in there, and you'll know better than me, but I believe that as they inhale and exhale, the saliva adheres to it. Could you just give a little bit of an overview of what happens? And it happens very fast.
Absolutely. So yes, the saliva, when you think about it, when pets start to overheat, they're going to salivate more too. So they're getting in there, they're licking the bag. It's most likely wet to begin with. Then they're breathing. And what happens when something's wet and it's tight? It's going to constrict over the mouth. And then, they're panting harder. They're trying to breathe. It's going further and further. And it becomes, just stuck on there. They don't have opposable thumbs. Even if they're trying to push it off, it's going to be, in the mouth quite a ways. And it can be very, very quick that, it's in there too far for them to get out on their own. And unfortunately, they can't breathe.
Well, I thank you very much for bringing attention to this because, as I said, with the holidays coming, it's this weekend. We have New Year's Eve coming up very soon. And, people have chips and different bags of treats and things out. And you want to make sure that you cut them up so that the dog can't get their head stuck in there. And better yet, put them in a container. Even if you have to put them in the garage or something, put it in a container that the dogs can't get in. Because this is a very, very sad, very heartbreaking way for a pet to go. And if you read the stories, they're absolutely heart-wrenching. So my heart goes out to everyone who has lost their dog this way. And it's a very sad, very heartbreaking thing. And I thank you, Monica, for bringing attention to it because hopefully we've saved some lives here.
Absolutely. And that's the point. Once people are aware of the issue, then they can, prevent it. And that's all it is just a little bit of awareness to, prevent that unfortunate occurrence that, has happened. And it's quick and there's nothing, it doesn't make them a bad pet owner. It can happen to anybody and it's fast. You get up and go to the bathroom and you come back and oh my goodness, what has happened? So it's definitely just a little ounce of prevention and knowledge for our pet owners to avoid a very sad situation.
Well, I thank you very much. And for all of you out there, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and please celebrate safely. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Coming up, feeding your pet just got a whole lot easier. Stay with us.
When I adopted her, she was a mess. Scabs, itching, licking, missing fur, hot spots, a thin, dull coat. So I take the dog to the vet for the standard run-of-the-mill tests and treatments. No results. I hear your advertisement on the radio.
DINOVITE.com. 859-428-1000.
So I get the 5-pound box of Dinovite and the Lico Chops within a 4-week total. Instead of a German Setter, I have a German Shepherd. Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life because she gets fed Dinovite. And the results, they're just incredibly outstanding. And she loves it. When you rescue a dog, you have to do the right thing. You've got to feed him right for life. due to Dynavite. Dynavite for life.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We have found a great way to feed your pets with comfort and joy this holiday season and all year round, thanks to the innovative ReachaBowl. And today we welcome the founder of ReachaBowl, Vadim Gordin. Hey, welcome to the Doggy Diva Show.
Hi, glad to be here.
So I personally love your product. It works very well with me because, as most of our listeners know, I had an accident a few years back, and I have like limited mobility with my back. So this is perfect for myself and my little co-host, Miss Olive. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, first, in case your customers haven't seen the product, the ReachaBowl is a dog bowl with a tall dog and cat food bowl. With a tall handle, so that if you've got any balance issues or knee, hip, or back trouble, it lets you feed your pets without having to bend down to the ground. So my background is that I am a biomedical engineer and patent attorney. And several years ago, my grandmother was going to go in to get her hips done. And as your listeners may know, the single most common reason for adult pets to get given away to shelters is that their owners can no longer feed them. They get injured, or they have some sort of surgery where if they don't have family nearby, they can't feed their pets, and that's what my grandma was looking at. So fortunately, we were able to get her some other help, but this idea kind of stuck with me of there's a lot of folks who love caring for their fur babies, but just have a hard time, and that twice daily ritual shouldn't be painful. So I tried to create a product that makes it easy to feed your pets without having to bend down. What I found out later is that also, in addition to just the pain of bending, for a lot of folks as they get much older, there's balance issues. So a lot of people will fall and hurt themselves more in the course of bending down, which the ReachaBowl also makes less likely. And so I worked with a great industrial designer out of Canada, and we interviewed a lot of people. We made a bunch of mock-ups. We iterated until we had a product that looks very nice in people's homes. It cleans up well. It's very, very durable. We made it so that it would survive countless trips through the dishwasher and countless falls off the countertop onto a tile floor. So it's got a lifetime guarantee. Bowls are stainless steel. People told me that was very important to them. They didn't want plastics that could harbor any sort of bacteria or any sort of smells. And so, and all of that process took me about a year and a half. So I started selling this past summer. And it's been great. I mean, customers love it. I've had a bunch of people who bought one for themselves and then came back and bought another one for family members, for mom or dad, or for their friends. And it's been a blast. It's been a blast, and it's a lot of fun because I also get a lot of emails from customers describing the impact that it's had on their lives, which is just incredibly rewarding. It's very difficult. It's very frustrating to bring a physical product to market, and hearing from so many people for whom this has had a very positive impact on their lives is empowering and kind of helps you push through and make this product better and get it out to more people.
Well, with your grandmother, I thank her for being the inspiration for this, because I think so many people are going to benefit from it. And one of the things that you brought up that, of course, I looked at it from my point of view, which was that I have a hard time bending. So this is perfect because I don't really have to bend over. You could just lift it, and you could actually just physically describe what with the handle, because it's very, for the space, it's very good for space. It's perfect for the kitchen. It doesn't take up any room. And like you said, it cleans really well. And the stainless steel bowls are so important. And one of the other things I like is the food and the water doesn't get out because it has like that lip on it.
That's true.
It's like you thought of everything.
Yeah, that was another thing that people, it wasn't I thought of it. It was older dog and cat owners talking to them and finding out the things that were important, the things that were their frustrations. And a lot of people, either they have a dog or a cat who's a messy eater, or like we inadvertently, as pet owners, will bump into the dog bowl, and that cleaning that up, if somebody already has a hard time bending, then cleaning up spilled kibble or spilled water to similarly be problematic. And so I worked to design a shape that would catch those spills as they happen. And so there's a rim around it that makes it and keeps us off of the floor. And the thing you sort of touched on that was a big goal for us and made it a little bit of a challenge, but I think we overcame it, is I wanted something that looks elegant in people's homes, that it's technically a mobility. Like, it helps people get through the day. But I wanted something that looks soft and inviting and pretty and nice in people's homes, and I think we achieved that. And it's really to my designer's credit that it looks as nice as it does, and it's something that I wanted people to smile when they looked at, and it was a joy to use, and that was our goal, and I think we pulled off.
You did, because it has like an elegant, like it's not the dog bowls that have the wider bottom, the narrower top that they kind of move all over as they're like eating, they're moving the bowl all over. It has like an elegant, like a sleek design. And so even though it works very well for the pet parent to have the food stay in there and not have a mess made, it looks really great, and it's easy for the pet to go in to eat. But even as it's sitting in your kitchen, it has that kind of like a sleek, the design where the bowl is and everything. It's very sleek and elegant, so it doesn't look dog bowl. I guess what I'm trying to say is, how some of them are like those. It's like when you walk in someone's kitchen, you go, oh, there's the dog bowl, but it doesn't look that way.
Thank you. That was the goal.
Yeah, no, you did really good there. Now, what have your comments been back from, your clients when they, with their pets? How do their pets like it?
So that's one thing that we do hear back from, is that it's the handle. Dogs and cats oftentimes aren't used to it. And so it'll often take a day or two for people's pets to get used to, oh, there's a vertical rod right next door I'm drinking from. But I've realistically never had one come back because someone's pet didn't get used to it. And that's what I try to tell people, and I even send out an email with like care instructions, etc. when people first order. I tell people, give it a few days, give it a week at most. Pets get used to it, and then it's completely fine. That's really the only issue. Once they realize that this stick is just part of their food bowl, it's A-okay. They become fine with it, but it takes a few days.
Yeah, it doesn't take long at all, actually. And another thing is, I have small dogs, but it comes in two sizes so that it could accommodate a small feed. So it's not like it's one size where there's like a big bowl. Yeah, there's one for small dogs, and then they have you have a medium one, I believe, for the larger dogs. Medium,
yeah, for dogs up to 35 pounds. And in both of those sizes, we've also lifted the rim of the bowls up a little bit so that they don't have to crane their necks as much to eat. But so they're elevated a little bit too. So
yeah, because there's the slope in the front. Yeah. And
then there's a medium size for dogs or extraordinarily large cats between 20 and 35 pounds. I don't know if any of your listeners have a 35-pound cat, but if they do, they could feed it with this bowl.
I had a 20-something pound cat, but I never had a 30-something. But I think there are cats like that out there.
I mean, even at 20 pounds, that's a lot of cats.
It is. Yeah, she was a big cat. She was one of our rescues. We got her when she was older, and she was big.
Yeah, that's
right. So. And for the pet parents, I know that it's, easy to use as far as like aerodynamically, I guess I'm going to say, because it's easy for us to use. But can you just go through once again, the care instructions and things like that, so that when people get it, that they understand it?
So it's made out of nice. It's made out of the same material as actually car headlights. So it's very, very durable. It's got a nice high polish on it. And the whole thing can just be put in the dishwasher. So the handle comes off, the bowls pop right out, and it's designed to not require any fine motor control. Like, you don't have to, it doesn't require any sort of like strong grip or like pinching your fingers. Like, it's very, it comes apart very easily. It screws together very easily, and all the parts can go right in the dishwasher on the top rack, and that's it. Super simple. If you want to wash it with a sponge, you can, but there's no harm in throwing it in the dishwasher. It was designed to be.
When people look at it, people say, is that hard to clean? I say, absolutely not, because you can just throw it in the dishwasher, which with a lot of the, you have some of the high feeders that, the elevated feeders, you can't do that. So this is the way it comes apart and the way it's, the way you've assembled it and it's put together, I guess, it makes it very easy to use for the pet parent and very easy to eat out of for the pet. So it kind of like, and plus it has the little handle on top so that for those of us that can't bend down, it's like a godsend because you could just lift everything. You just lift it right up, and it's very light. And as I said, it has that like elegant little, it's like an elegant look to it. So it's pretty sitting in your kitchen. So
right, that was making it worry free to clean was a big part of the goals when working with both the manufacturer and the industrial designer to make sure that it's as effortless as possible and as struggle free as possible to take it apart, toss it in the dishwasher, it comes out perfectly clean. Like brand new. Yeah. And that was the other reason that we went with it. It's got it's the highest level of the white part is the highest level of polish you can get on plastic parts, which I'm sure that some of your readers have, or some of your listeners rather, have plastic components in their home that are higher end and that they have that like nice mirror finish to them.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons we went with that is that it also doesn't pick up scuff. So like you take like a black piece of rubber and smack it against the thing, that black scuff will come right out. And that was the reason I went with a mirror finish on the white pieces, was so that, again, just toss in the dishwasher or hit it with a sponge and it'll clean up like brand new with very, very little effort.
Some of the plastic things have the little like grain in them and things get caught in it and it gets dirty. It's harder to clean, but this is very smooth. And like you said, it's what the material that you used is, you could tell it's a very high grade material, and it's very durable. I have 3 dogs, so I know how like banging into things. So like I can attest for it.
Exactly.
Where can the listeners go to learn more about you, more about ReachaBowls, and where they can purchase them?
Sure. It's www.ReachaBowl. That's ReachaBowl. I'll get it spelled again. It's www.ReachaBowl.com. And you can learn more about me and the product. You can see some pictures, and you can buy one. And what I'm going to do is make a coupon code, DIVA, and that'll give you $5 off at any purchase.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you very much. And you know what, listeners? I can guarantee you that you are not going to be disappointed. This is a wonderful product, both for yourself and, more importantly, for your pet. They're going to love them. So I want to thank you. Number one, I want to thank you for all you're doing for the animals and for the pet parents. You've done so much out there for them. And thank you for being our guest. And I want to wish you a happy holiday.
Thanks, you too. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. We'll be back in just a moment. Hi, Doggy Diva Show listeners. Susan Marie here to take just a half a minute to let you know how much we appreciate your being with us every week to hear great dog tips you can use with your pet, some great stories about rescues, fostering, and some heartwarming stories about second chances for pets who are now in loving forever homes. Be sure to go to our website, thedoggydiva.com, to see pictures of Miss Olive and other dogs we talk about on the show and get to know us a little better. That's thedoggydiva.com, DOGGY. We appreciate your feedback too. Okay, let's get back to the show. Coming up, Christmas decorations can be hazardous to your pet's health. Stay with us to learn more.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your cat tree tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. CATTREETRAY.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with award-winning veterinarian Dr. Michael Reinhart from Venice, Florida. Welcome, Dr. Reinhart.
And welcome to you.
This holiday season, there are things that go on, and some of them can be potentially disastrous, especially, when we have our Christmas trees and different decorations and things that are up there. And I know that you personally have experienced this almost like year after year after year, these emergencies that come into you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, as we celebrate the holidays, a lot of times there are some disasters that can occur to our family members as well as to our furry family members. And one of the things that we've talked about before is the chocolate problem we have with dogs, and that the chocolate is actually a toxin to dogs. There's something called theobromide in the chocolate that can cause seizures and some other issues, and it is a toxin. We have to be careful to not be getting the dogs into chocolate. But one of the other things that I have unfortunately lost a few cats to is something called a linear foreign body, which is a string that is inside that they swallow, and it's inside their gastrointestinal system, and it causes them to perforate their GI tract. And one of the strings that I have a problem with at Christmas time is tinsel on the tree and or garland on a tree. I mean, people don't understand that it attracts the cats. They want to swat at it and everything, and then it falls down, and then they ingest it, and now I have a linear foreign body inside the cat, and if we're lucky enough to catch it, in most cases it's going to require surgery where we do something called an enterotomy, where I'm going to have to go into the stomach of the animal or to the abdomen of the animal, find where this linear foreign body is in the GI tract, make an incision in the bowel, open it up, pull the string out, and then resuture the bowel, which is a potential problem with the sutures falling apart on us and having an infection in the gut because of that. But yeah, it's a simple thing. I mean, you put it on your tree and you don't think your cat's going to get it, but it's a linear foreign body that can be devastating to your cat.
Now, for the cats, and I'm presuming that this could be for dogs too, but what does it do when it's like, once they start ingesting it, what exactly happens? I mean, so that people will know that this, that something's going on.
Typically, you get vomiting. They stop eating. They may vomit. Linear foreign bodies were a problem a long time ago when people, unfortunately they don't now, but when people used to sew and they had these bobbins and they had strings of threads on these bobbins, and the cats would knock the bobbins around and get the string and swallow it, and it would basically wrap around the base of their tongue, go down inside their stomach, and then go into their intestines, but it's stuck, and so the intestine is trying to push it and push it and push it and push it, and the intestine will pleat up on itself like an accordion, and then it saws itself through that string. The tinsel can do the same thing. It can be wrapped around the tongue, or it could just be inside the bowel, and since it's a long string, the bowel's potential to push things down, it's not able to really push it down, and it's a problem. And then the other problem is sometimes the string is coming out the rear end of the cat, and people take it and they grab it and they just pull on it, and that's the wrong thing to do, because what you need to understand, on the other side of that string is an accordion of the bowel, and that string is going to cut through that accordion and may cut that bowel in half. So you pull it, it's chronic tension, real slow tension, see if it starts to move a little bit, and if it doesn't move, leave it alone. Somebody needs to go in and get it.
And and these things, of course, always happen around the holidays because so don't try to take care of it yourself. And I do know people who have had things that have come out of the other end, and they do try to pull on them, and they did say it made matters worse, and they should have just called their vet immediately or gone to the emergency, whatever it was that needed to be done. Now, I think people don't even think. They go, oh, well, yeah, I don't use tinsel anymore. But you brought up garland. Now, what do they experience with garland? Because that's...
Same thing.
That's a thicker
It flattens out, and it's a string. The garland is a whole bunch. It's thicker, but it's this thickness that sprouts off on the string, and that mats down, so we still have a string inside there. And that's an issue. And if you do have something coming out of the rectum and you want to pull on it, don't yank on it. Just put chronic traction on it and see if it starts to come towards you slowly, but slowly, but slowly, but slowly. If you just yank on it, you could actually cut the bow.
Wow. And these are things you don't think of, and it's the holidays and everybody's in a hurry and stuff. And with the garland, I would think that it'd even be worse because you're right. It spreads out. It's got all the poofy things going on with it. But, and with cats and even with some dogs, they get fascinated by that. So it's best to, when you're decorating your holiday tree or even your table or fireplace or whatever it is you're doing, to be cognitive of what the complications could be to your pets.
Yeah, these shiny things and these baubles and stuff that we put on the tree, they are an attraction for the pet. And especially a thin strand of foil is going to catch their sight. And it's an attractive problem for them. And, of course, cats always get into trouble and they swat at it and stuff, and it falls down, and then they swallow it. And then it's an issue, and it's a problem. And, yeah, I unfortunately, in my practice life, which has been extended, I've seen more than one cat die as a result of this.
Well, hopefully by us talking about it today, if we could even save one cat's life, we've done a lot. So I hope that people, listen to this, understand it, and realize the danger of something so beautiful that could be hanging from your tree can also be really attractive to your cat, and they may ingest it. So as always, I thank you for this great tip, and you have a great holiday.
And you too, and as always, it was a pleasure.
Begging to hear more of your favorite show? Full episodes of all our shows are available on demand. Go to PetLifeRadio.com to fetch our entire lineup of Possum Pet podcasts. Also, dig us up in iHeartRadio and iTunes. Let's talk pets. Live and on demand, only from Pet Life Radio.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Are you by chance working on any last-minute gift ideas for the dog lovers in your life? Well, Miss Olive has a few recommendations, and one of them that she loves is called Spleesh, with a built-in pocket to stash keys, phone, treats, and other personal items while out for a walk, and Mom and Dad's hands are all freed up for playing fetch or just taking selfies with your number one pooch. It's a guaranteed 2 paws up for this gift, and if you want to learn more about it, please go to spibelt.com, spibelt.com, and you're looking for the Spleesh, S-P-I leash. You're going to have so much fun with your pet. And another thing, for the children in your life, please visit pawspublishing.com, that's P-A-W-Z, for the beautifully illustrated and lesson learning Piper Was Afraid and Lily the Fancy Poo by author Rebecca Phillips. Kids will love them, and so will you. Have a great holiday, everyone. We would like to thank our guests this week, and also, as our Doggy Divas always say, please love your pets because they love you unconditionally, and please remember to adopt, foster, spay, neuter, and microchip. And as always, please have a great Diva week, everyone.
That's all for this episode of the Doggy Diva Show. To find out more, go to our website, thedoggydiva.com. Also, find us on our Facebook page, The Doggy Diva Show, and tell your fellow dog lovers about it. Don't miss Susan Marie, Miss Olive, and the Doggy Divas right here for the next episode. See you again soon.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.